And they're off. There's a sword in the first chest. First chest has a sword in Link's house. That's excellent. Both players electing to start from Link's house. And so both players electing to start from Link's house, getting the sword, and heading for the uncle. So this is a pretty standard opening between these two. About 26 seconds. They'll be reaching this the tunnel. Yeah, the immediate sword does kind of take some of the fun out of open mode. So we got 20 rupees here. All right. Alright, so we're going to check out the tree pull here. We got bombs at the tier 1 tree pull. That is going to make things much easier on everybody. Both players going for the escape first time. So once again, we have a bit of a route convergence. And it looks like we're going to be picking up some of the same items along the way. That makes things a little more interesting for us because we get to discover items as we go along, and we don't have any backtracking over other items. Now, it does appear that there was a B-torp found in the chest in the uncle's tunnel.
Yeah, I mean, they both got their swords early on. Might as well change it from being an open mode to being a standard mode, right?
Pretty good to me. All right, so both players making their way through this dark escape area, or not dark escape area, but deep escape area. Using a nice little spin trick here to kill that blue guard. I learned that the other day, and it's pretty great.
Yeah, you just pop him up against his own chest, and you can get the double spin, and you don't have to go across the room. It's quite nice.
Indeed. All right. So, both players heading into Zelda's chest. It does appear that there's a bit of an echo coming from your microphone. I'm not sure what that's about.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm in a very empty room. I'm just filling in until Zyrak comes back. He had some internet issues.
Sorry. I didn't realize I was talking to someone else.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No problem. So, speaking of going vanilla, sure enough, they just got the lamp from Zelda's chest.
Oh my. So that's, number one, that's pretty nice because as Kyong set up the death warp, allowed him to go back to the front and head down and check the chest inside the dark area of the escape. Now, we found out from Monoci's play that Kyong will not be able to continue past that chest because Monoci picked up the key in Sanctuary. But it's the mirror.
Great find.
The mirror in the basement, in the dark basement of the escape, and that is going to be a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it looks like Monoci is making the right play here, going the same route. Got the key from Sanctuary, but it's now coming back the other way. So,
and that means that they will be able to proceed onward and get the 3 chests in the back without having messed with the power glove and all that mess. So we like to see a lamp early on because it makes it a lot easier to see what's going on. but it does take some of the challenge out of it if you learned all your dark room strats.
Yeah, it'll definitely open up some other things, like instead of Flute opening up that mountain with the lamp, which is all they need is a glove now.
Yep, that's absolutely true. Looked like just a red rupee in the lumberjack cave, so far nothing pushing them toward Aghanim 1.
We had the blue boomerang and the 3 chests underneath the sanctuary.
Yep, so all you Bloomerang fans out there, get them out and start throwing them. Just make sure you catch them when they come back. Now, so we just found rupees and arrows in the Lost Woods. Now, Monoci is avoiding the Lost Woods Kakariko route and looks to be doing the South Hyrule route off of the dam and the Moldorm Cave. Having the mirror makes the dam trip a lot easier. You can get rid of a block and take care of this all in one trip.
Sorry about that, everybody.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
So, Kyong, heading into Blind's hut. We're going to find some items here. There's 300 rupees at the dam. And the silvers!
Very nice. Very nice early find. If we wind up with an early bow, that's really nice for your combat.
So this seed has been exceedingly generous so far. They already have a sword, they already have the lamp, they already have the silvers. You just know there's going to be something trolly later on.
Absolutely. That's always the way these things go. They're either generous early and terrible late, or the reverse, it seems like.
Indeed. Alright, so Kyong will be now heading into the Kakariko well, while Monoci is taking care of the mini Moldorm cave. There's the blue mail in the mini Moldorm cave, but a whole lot of nothing else.
Yeah, nothing in terms of progression. Blue mail obviously is nice for your defenses and your hardiness going forward.
Yep. And there's the hammer!
Oh,
the hammer has been found in Kakariko well.
Yeah, huge for your routing, huge for early game damage and utility of the reusable item. That's a really nice pickup in Kakariko.
Alright, so Monoci is going to the Ice Rod Cave. And I like the move of going to Ice Rod Cave because somebody's going to skip it. And
right.
There's a chance you can get a big lead just because there's something important here.
Yeah. Definitely an overall difference in the mindset of the players between former versions of the logic and this one. And because of the way this one works in terms of its linearity and the breadcrumbs, it's really hard to leave one of the initial opening locations unchecked for too long.
That is true. Unfortunately, nothing particularly paying off there, just a piece of heart. Kyong is going to pick up the Master Sword in the back of the tavern.
All right, yeah, it looks like Monoci is on his way now here to pick up the goods in Kakariko. The nice little bit of mirror tech from Monoci there, using it to get back to the front of Sanctuary.
That was a pretty good call. Yep, saves you a little bit of walking time, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, once again, the bombs from the tree pull. That's going to make things easier. Magic from the crab.
Yeah, it could be. That's nice theoretically for later, especially if you don't have boots to take advantage of the bonk tree near the Kakariko warp tile. So
I have a question for you, because I've been experimenting with this in my head. So the race game, we just saw there was just a heart container there. How few items do you have to have before you just don't check and just go inside?
If I get no piece of what I consider major progression in the village itself, I'll usually just chance the race game myself. Getting the hammer. The hammer's nice as a reusable weapon, but the hammer doesn't open up very much on its own. So consider I might have just chanced the race game in this scenario if it was me.
Yeah, it's possible. turns out it's just a hard container, so that's not a big deal.
Yeah.
I unfortunately also missed the library. I apologize. So
Yeah, I didn't.
we will see it on Monoci's side of the screen.
Absolutely, yeah.
That happens. I think it wasn't anything important because I might have seen it and just disregarded it.
Right. Yeah. No, I don't think it was important either. But we'll see. Kyong's got to be a little bit careful with these Moldorms here.
You definitely don't want to take that much damage. You know what's one of the most satisfying things to take these Moldorms out with? Cane of Samaria blocks.
That is fun. That there is that the ice rod is good too. But yes, the Cane of Samaria is definitely fun. All right, Kyong getting a little safer here with his blue mail.
So will Kyong be going over to the right-hand side? Yes. So we'll find out if they're going to head to the Ice Rod Cave or do a fake flipper here. It does look like the Ice Rod Cave. I find that the fake flipper play becomes less useful now unless you have the Moon Pearl, because there's so many items up there and you just don't want to take a second trip.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, not having the Moon Pearl or the boots to do some fake flipper trips definitely, some Jesus Walk clips here is definitely makes it a lot less worthwhile. Could farm 20. Do we actually no? We don't have a lift upgrade yet, so no, never mind.
So there's no lift upgrade. Can't go to the farm cave. There's a lot of different questions.
So Monoci trying something really interesting there. If you release the gold bee by the bottle vendor, he will actually give you 100 rupees. So since Monoci had a bee and didn't know what type it was, he tried releasing it there. Unfortunately, just a regular bee.
Right. Now I remember the Japanese text will tell you which one it is, but I don't think that's in the game anymore because of the changes they made to the layout in the subscreen.
Yeah, I believe that's the case. Yeah. And yeah, as chat's pointing out, Aghanim 1's starting to smell pretty fishy here. I'm sure the runners are not going to be in a humongous hurry to do them because you are 2 items away from Dark World, which is sort of like that borderline for me personally when I'm considering doing Aghanim or not. And if I'm 2 items or less away from being able to skip him, I usually stick it out.
So we found a bottle with a fairy in the back of Sahasrah's hut, and now heading over to Eastern Palace. Eastern Palace with the lamp is a pretty good play. You can get the logic will allow you to get to 5 of the chests in 5 of the locations in this dungeon.
Yeah.
The only one you can't get to is Armos itself.
That's right. And with this logic's increased odds of items in dungeons too, then this is definitely something that makes a lot of sense.
You know what I saw the other day, which I hadn't seen in forever? A Go Mode Swamp Palace.
It's pretty rare, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Go Mode swamps and Go Mode ices are things of dreams long past in a lot of seats.
Indeed.
Have just because I did miss a little, have any of the runners done the front part of Escape yet?
I believe that was the first thing both of them did.
Okay, and they actually went into the castle?
Yes.
Okay.
And they got the lamp in there.
All right, interesting. Okay.
Zelda's chest in the vanilla location.
One of 3.
The
Yeah.
NMG vanilla location.
Yes.
The Bloomerang was in the back of Escape. It was in the 3 chests back there. The mirror was in the dark chest in Escape, which they both did rather quickly after.
Oh,
there's the
flute. All right.
We're gonna play you a little song here.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a much quicker check of Agnes Cave. I don't know if Kyong went to Ice Rod Cave. It's a quicker check there, and of course Seth Mountain.
Both players did in fact go to Ice Rod Cave already, so.
All right. I do remember Monoci going over there, but yeah, no, perfect. But yeah, it definitely gives you access to the corners of the map at a much quicker pace.
At this point, they have access to the entirety of Lightside Death Mountain.
That's right, with the mirror, including being able to get into Hera and in the lamp for the fire source in the basement.
And then the hammer will get you to the right side, and you're in business.
Yeah, absolutely. Be pretty surprising if the runners decided not to go over there, if for no other reason than to check out Tower of Hera and knock that out.
Indeed. Picking up that big key. We'll get to see what's in the final chest here. And unless it's the bow, they will be leaving in short order.
Absolutely.
And possibly even if it is the bow, on account of this dungeon being a pendant. And it's a piece of heart.
All right.
We did get a Mac check at one point. Turns out that this dungeon is Eastern Palace was a pendant, and Desert and Hera were both crystals.
All right. Yeah, so off to activate the feud here for Kyong. I imagine this will be followed potentially by a quick Agana check first, but I imagine Death Mountain will be high on his list.
Everybody get your swag ducks ready, because Swag Duck is coming. And he's angry. I'm not sure why. Could have something to do with being cooped up inside of a statue.
That would certainly put me in a foul mood.
Ow.
I promise I won't make too many puns, chat.
Oh, that was worth it. That was worth it.
Alright, let's see where Kyong is off to. It looks like it is going to be a quick Agana check here.
We also get to see what's on the desert ledge. It's 300 rupees, which, I mean, nobody's going to argue with 300 rupees. Mainly because it can't argue back. It's just a pile of money. But there you go.
Right. If they wind up not finding a lot of other rupees around here, they might pick it up for their Kiki chess game, etc. money.
Yep, just a piece of heart again in Agnes Cave. So my streak is broken. The last X amount of seeds I commentated had something in Agnes Cave. Like, I don't remember how many, but it was a lot.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, Agana seems to have to hide either the lamp or a lift upgrade on me quite a bit. It's actually why I changed my opening route to get over there quicker.
Mm-hmm. So Kyong has made their way into the old man's cave. Now, normally you would access this from the left-hand side, but having both the lamp and the flute, this is allowed coming in from the back end. And I believe the logic does account for this.
Yeah.
So we could get progression from the old
Yeah,
man.
absolutely does. This would not be a sequence break here.
Indeed. So, that doesn't look like progression to me.
No.
Not
so-
today, anyway.
It's a little tip from the old man, that's it.
Yep. I mean, what do you really expect for, guiding somebody home?
And guiding them home through, a couple of hallways, really. But,
And they were dark. He didn't have a lamp.
right. I mean, I guess that's 20 rupees for your lamp oil.
Yeah. Old man needs to learn his dark rooms. That's all I'm saying.
Right. I mean, to be fair, he doesn't have a sword or anything to guide him with. That does make it tougher.
Yeah. So yeah, Kyong finds 300 rubies inside Spectacle Rock and decides to pass them up. I don't blame him for that. Neat.
All right.
The bunny sprite for that sprite is a mushroom.
So I saw a green pendant at Turtle Rock and a crystal 6 at Skull Woods.
Interesting.
Was a green pod? Okay, sorry. It was quick. I apologize if I missed that.
Does that mean it's blue at Turtle Rock, or no?
No, I'm pretty sure
Turtle Rock
Meyer
is
was the
crystal.
other one. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so at least I got the Skullwood 6 right in that quick math check. And as I suspected, Kyong is on his way, or is currently in Tower of Hera, and looks like Monoci is going to be right behind him.
That is true.
So it looks like both runners largely choosing to play the opening of the seed fairly similarly here so far.
Yep, they are basically in lockstep at the moment.
Seed has looks to have flowed out fairly linearly for them so far. Without the Moon Pearl and without a lot of money, the fake flippering not really looking like an attractive option for them.
Indeed. So after going through Tower of Hera, they will then be able to check the east side of Death Mountain, where a rather large chunk of chess waits. So how do you feel about that? Do you think we're gonna get all the things or none of the things?
They've gotten a lot of things so far. I'm leaning towards the none of the things. Hopefully,
Yeah, it would make the seed more interesting.
Yeah. At some point, Dark World Access does sort of have to come around, and even doing Aghanim right now on it just on his own doesn't give you much. So there's probably a pretty good chance you'll wind up with one thing out of here.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a prediction right now that it will be about 50 minutes into the seed before we see the boots.
50 minutes? That sounds generous, to be honest.
Yep. That's just a random prediction. If it happens to be right, it'll be great. If it happens to be wrong, nobody will remember.
Nobody will remember. Yeah, right.
It's great.
Yeah, right. The desert is a crystal, so I don't know. Do I want to say this is going to be boostless?
Yeah, there's a chance of the Desert Palace being boot locked. People will say that it's 1 in 3, but I think there's a dependency in there that makes it slightly different.
Yeah, I believe it's greater than much greater than 66% chance that you're gonna need boots in there. Monoci taking one fall off Moldorm, but it looks like he's going to clean it up nicely here afterwards.
Yep. Trolldorm is going to troll. That's what he does. They don't call him Trolldorm for nothing.
He's very good at what he does.
And here in the basement, we have the Power Glove.
Excellent. Okay.
It's so bad.
So bad. Just keep your power gloves off her, okay?
Look. My power gloves are over here.
All right, so obviously the item that they would love to see in either in Spiral Cave or the 7 Cave here is going to be the Moon Pearl.
There's the hook shot.
And that's the hook shot.
The hook shot is on the island, the floating island. So you have to go through the hookshot cave to get the hookshot.
They do have the mirror already, so they have that part of it taken care of. Just need that Titan's Mitt.
Yeah. So if you get the Titan's Mitts, you can go grab that sucker.
Yeah. If you don't find the Moon Pearl in here, it'll be interesting to see if the runners immediately go to Aghanim, I don't know if there's anything else left on the map.
Yeah, the Power Glove, it's so bad, is in fact the wizard reference. Yes.
Yes. And so was the line I followed that up with also from the movie.
Yeah, I just realized once, I just realized that was the next line.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, I should have known that.
just being a 90s kid in here. Nothing else. No one else to see here.
Mm-hmm. So there's the cane of Brian. Brian, if you're watching, we just found your cane.
Does actually technically, with the bottle they have earlier, technically open up Spike Cave.
That is true. Spike Cave is now live, and there's the Moon Pearl.
There's your Moon Pearl. So there's your Aga 1 confirmed, not needed for this seed.
Yep. Did you see the weird thing where the Aga 1 was required because you couldn't get to Fat Fairy otherwise?
Right, there was a secondary tournament match, I think, where she had the flute, and the flute led to the hammer, if I recall. Yeah. I have had one seed.
Impressive work.
Yeah, I have had one seed in my own personal, like, either practice or SRL where she did have the hammer, and I had to do Aga for that as well, but definitely a rare occurrence.
Alright, so Kyong gonna pick up the Bloomerang. I think a lot of people remember to check Spike Cave. They just don't want to check Spike Cave.
Yeah.
And so they're just like, nah, I'm out.
I believe with this amount of hearts, they would need some green goo to survive the trip.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Unless they somehow find half magic. Alright, so it looks like Kyong is using the access that the RNG gods gave him to get into the Dark World.
That's right. Considering they have Hammer and Thieves as a crystal, I would imagine we'll be heading in there very shortly.
Looks like Monoci might actually be... well, he was trying to do the bomb jump. I thought he might be trying to do the Spike Cave thing.
Yeah, he might be.
Alright, so it's version 26. Where are we going? We're going to Skullwoods. That's where we're going. That is, in fact, the meme.
Indeed.
It's version 26. Guess where you're headed.
I'm not sure if I like doing Skullwoods before Thieves in this situation. You have the mirror.
Well, I think you do.
I take that
think
back.
you do.
Take it back. Totally take it back.
The boots are there. And, 27, 50, they're about the same.
Yep. So, what I was gonna say is you have the mirror. You can completely do Thieves. You could theoretically pull the Fire Rod out of Thieves, which would save you some time if it happened, and then you could sort of merge this into a check with the Graveyard Ledge. But with the boots being in here, worth.
You gotta love them boots. Monoci is using the Cane of Brian. I think they're gonna be fine.
I think he's gonna make it. All right.
Just a piece of heart after all of that. And so Kyong now heads out, having picked up the boots in Skull Woods. There's one more item in Skull Woods and one more chest he can check. So I think that's where we'll be going.
Yep, I have seen runners not do this just before, but if you're already here, I think you should be doing it.
By the way, does anyone know the proper pronouns for these runners? I don't want to mess this up.
I believe both runners would be correct with he, but
Okay.
not 100 on it.
I mean, they works because that's what I've been doing.
Oh,
Just wondering.
so Hype Cave here, pulling the Cane of Samaria already.
Is it Kane? Is it Kane? It might be Kane.
Definitely was.
Does it have to be though? Does it have to be Kane?
In this case, yes.
I'm told it's got to be Kane.
It's got to be Kane, yeah. Also a bottle, so definitely, you know, for version 26 Hype Cave standards, I think that qualifies.
Yeah.
As hype.
That's pretty hype. I mean, I saw a clip that was a little more hype than that, but not by much. Are you guys wanting it? Because I'll do it.
If you want to do it, Bob, take it away. I'm sure you got a better one than I do.
I'll just have to make sure that that Phantom Ryu doesn't find out. So it'd be like, that's gotta be Kane.
Bravo! One of the better ones I've heard, actually. Kyong not grabbing his two hams from the back of Graveyard Ledge here.
Yep. You figure you got basically enough rupees at this point. Let's see. You got the 500 for Zora. You've got the 110 for Pod if you need to go in there. Which it's a pendant, so of course you need to go into Pod.
Of course you do. Yeah.
That's how this works. Oh, I found out how to open that thing without actually bonking the other day. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that little sideways with your sword and just hit A into it. The game assumes you're dashing. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks really impressive, and it's super simple.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the best tricks. Kyong heading back into Village of Outcasts here. Checking out these outlying houses, and I'm sure he will be on his way into Thieves.
Yep. Many runners of this game are familiar with doing Thieves Town at a low heart total. 7 is pretty much fine for most runners.
Yeah, if you're skipping Sankheart, I believe 7 is the amount of hearts you come in here on the NMG route, actually.
Interesting.
I'm going by memory, and it's been a while since I've done an NMG run myself, so I might be misremembering that, but I think that's right.
One of these days I'll do an NMG run just to say that I did, but it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, yeah, it's certainly unforgiving. Helmet Cat in particular has wiped me a few times.
Helmet Cat?
Yeah, Helmasaur, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what I would do on that. I'm so used to having, like silver arrows or the gold sword.
Yeah, I'm still kind of learning the sword out to extend your hammer hitbox to hammer in the duels.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, got another bee in a bottle here in Thieves Town. Yeah. And if any of these runners are iffy with their blind fight, the Cane of Brian should put an end to that problem.
Yeah, absolutely. Blind completely free with the cane because the burnout projectile does actually hit him.
Mm-hmm. And if you have a full magic bar, Zelda showed us the other day that you can actually get all 9 hits in with the cane.
Good to know.
You have to be very careful, but you can.
Yeah, B-Torp definitely in full effect here. B number 2.
Bees for days, man. That's actually the name of my raid team on Final Fantasy XIV is Bees.
Nice. I approve, for whatever little that means.
There you go.
Not pulling not anything out of thieves yet, other than the excess bottle.
Indeed. Monochi's kind of, going over the flanctuary items like Kyong did recently. So we know there's not much there. So all eyes are on Thieves Town at the moment.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see if Monoci decides to just take this all the way to Catfish, since he can mirror and flute back over here.
There's the Bombos medallion. So Bombos with the quote maiden quote.
Yeah, could be important. Could be needed for Turtle Rock. Could be your Ice Palace access.
Indeed, I have seen many a seed where the fire rod was in Ice Palace.
Yeah, it's definitely not uncommon. See if Monoci heads over to Catfish or heads back over to Village here. Looks like he's heading back to the village.
So, Blind giving us a great hint today, telling us that Myra requires Quake, Ether, or Bombos.
Narrows it down to 3 of 3 possibilities. Thanks a lot.
Seems pretty legit.
Yeah. Nice from Kyong. Pretty much the task skill there. Very nicely done.
Mm-hmm. Much better fight than I've ever done, that's for sure. And we're moving on. So, Monoci is making their way into the Dark World. Clearly they have already been to Skullwoods. And they will be probably heading into Thieves Town right as Kyong starts leaving it.
Yeah, Kyong, a bit of an advantage here. Essentially one dungeon ahead at the moment.
That is true. So now we're going down to do the digging game. Now the lack of mitts will mean they will be unable to go back up into the Village of Outcasts, but they would have no real reason to at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. That is, of course, the advantage to doing your early Skullwoods play.
Alright, so just a piece of heart in there, but more importantly, managed to pick up another 20 rupees and some change in that, so that the Zora and Palace of Darkness money is still on point. Because, of course, we will almost absolutely need to go pay both those people off. That's true. Now, I have more recently become more and more reluctant to enter Palace of Darkness without the bow. Without the hammer, I'm a little easier on that, but without the bow, there's not much there that can progress you. Right. The one interesting thing about diving pod without the bow, of course, is that if you're not immediately bow locked and you can get to the back of the dungeon, you can potentially get some good information on where the bow is, because anything past the first 3 chests, by the logic, is bow locked. So even if you can get back there without it, like for instance, as an example, if you pulled the Turtle Rock medallion from back there, you would know that the bow can't possibly be in Turtle Rock. Yeah. We had one the other day where they found the Titan's mitts in the vanilla big key chest, and that happens to be one of the ones you can't access according to the logic. And so they knew then that there was like 3 or 4 places left where the bow could have been. That's right. I believe that key logic is getting amended in the next version of the randomizer, but until such time as that's fixed, that's very useful information the runners can use. So what kind of changes would be made to that?
I'm assuming it would be the reason why it happens is because of the way the small key logic works to prevent you from soft locking yourself. So I imagine they'll just be putting something in a little bit more sophisticated for to say that, oh, if there are in fact enough small keys for you to get back there, then you're not bow locked back there anymore. Something to that effect.
I see.
That is all supposition on my part, though. I am not part of the dev team, so
Yeah,
grain of
that
salt.
makes sense. Yeah. I mean, either way, Pod's going to be pretty front-loaded with keys.
Yeah. Pretty much has no other option.
Yeah. Alright, so Kyong appears to be heading over to Catfish. A bit out of the way, but sometimes you have to take it. Now, of course, because they have the mirror, they can combine this with Zora.
That's right. And he has the boots, and so I'm assuming Kyong knows how to do the boot setups for water walking.
There's the bow!
The D! Catfish with the D. Well, that's going to... Well, Eastern Pod, both pendants. So...
I mean, you do need the bow to complete the game. You must have it.
Yes. Even though it is a pendant, being able to fully complete pod, 6 total items, including the green pendant, you can pull out of there.
Right.
But
I mean, at this point...
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I was going to say, I think Kyong's going to have a hard time turning that down.
I mean, at this point, you have to think, okay, so I don't have Titan's Mitts, so I can't get into any of the other dungeons.
Yeah.
And I don't have flippers, so I can't get into Swamp. So, pod it is, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you're missing. Yeah, Titan's Mitt, no book, no flippers. Yeah, no, yeah, you're pretty much stuck on pod here.
Now you do know my nickname for pod, right?
I don't. What is it?
My nickname for pod is the Mullet Dungeon.
Because it's business in the front and party in the rear.
Yep.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. It's about the best idea I could come up with.
Yeah, no, it's that's good and very apt as well.
Mm-hmm. So as we were talking about, Kyong is going to have to pay off this monkey.
Like I said, no other dungeons. If he has any other overworld, it's spread out. This is absolutely where he needs to go.
Indeed. So, heading on in, and we'll see what we find here.
Yeah,
Thinking probably flippers.
Flipper's a good option. Titan Mid is another likelihood here.
Yep. We'll find flippers here, and we'll find Titan's Mitts in Swamp Palace on the left side, just because.
Yeah. Yeah, well, very possible.
Yep. It's the in vogue thing to skip left side of Swamp Palace.
Yeah,
And,
that's really been a thing the last little while here.
And sometimes it pays off, and sometimes it does not. Like, extremely.
Yeah. That is a gamble that probably works most of the time, but those times that it doesn't, boy, it basically costs you a raise.
Alright, so Kyong is heading upstairs. And we're just finding more keys, which we are unsurprised by.
Yes.
More keys!
Palace of Keys. This of course would be the business in the front we're referring to.
We have to take care of all this business so that we can get to the party.
Oh, Monoci. See, yeah, it looks like he's going to be making the play up to Pyramid and Catfish as well.
Yep. Just following right behind Kyong the whole way.
Yeah, Kyong just built up a little bit of a lead here through skipping a couple of really isolated locations like Spike Cave and slightly better execution.
Very true. All right, I think it's party time. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think we have most of our business is taken care of. Let's get to the fun stuff.
I think there's only like one key left. No, two. No, one.
Yeah, one key. Yeah. Key that will be used to get down to Helmosaur, other than that.
There it is. There are the flippers.
And excellent call.
Ha-ha. Excellent.
See if Pod has any more value for our runners.
There's a Titan Spitz!
Oh boy, Pod loaded.
Wow. So you remember when I was talking about Pendant Pod needing a thing? Or having things? It has things.
Yes, Pendant Pod has all the things. Pendant Pod couldn't possibly have more things, could it?
It could. There's always the possibility. Could have one of the rods.
Well, there's the rod to set
fire
the
rod.
witch on fire, right there. What?
And the other one!
Oh my god! What?
What? What?
My god!
Okay, I'm sorry if I hurt anybody's ears there, but oh my goodness.
Wow, what a dungeon!
That. Okay. Hold on. Hold on just a second. Medallions. And that's it.
Yes, because we know where the hookshot is. Kyong is off to find it. If Turtle Rock is Bombos locked, we are go.
Mm-hmm. You want to talk about a party in the back? My goodness.
That's the biggest party I've ever seen in Pod.
I really want to see what that medallion is for T-Rock.
Yeah, we'll get to see it soon. 'Cause I'm sure no one knows where he's at better than Kyong right now. So
And the medallion is Bombos!
Bombos!
That's 47-minute go mode, guys.
Oh wow! I mean, we could have Kyong's execution is top tier too. We could very easily have a new low time for the tournament here.
This race. Wow. And Pod just opens everything right up. We're gonna get to see Go Mode Swamp. We're gonna get to see Go Mode Ice. We're gonna get to see Go Mode the rest of Skullwoods. You know?
Yeah. I mean, if Turtle Rock is nice with its keys, I mean, this could be really quick.
Oh my. I am once again very sorry to anybody who had to hear my reaction to those rods, but what?
It's pretty unbelievable.
Oh wow.
So I actually really like this idea from Kyong. It would be really tempting to just go right into Turtle Rock because you're right there, but you have all these other dungeons to finish. There's going to be a few chests that you're going to have to open while you're looking for big keys and such. You might as well hope that you pull a better sword out of here to make your life in Turtle Rock and on Trinex easier.
Yeah. Nobody likes Master Sword Trinex. Nobody. But yeah, the Desert Mire play at the same time is always fun.
I'm still a little bit speechless over this pot, and I mean, Monoci has not played bad. He's going to have a sub-hour go mode here.
Indeed. Both players going to be just racing right to the end. I wouldn't be surprised to see sub 130, sub 120 maybe. That might be a little much, but real fast.
I mean, a lot of it is going to depend on where
like Ganon's tower could troll the snot out of him, that sort of thing. But
yeah, we are missing nothing on Kyong's side, and Monoci is halfway through finding all the value that's ever been put anywhere, and then he will be off for his hook shot.
Okay. Yep, so Kyong has in fact activated the go mode.
Yes, indeed. Monoci's going to be go mode sub-hour, and he's noticeably behind.
It's like, how? How?
Right. Exactly.
None of this makes any sense. I'm not even sure what version we're on anymore.
Right? We replaying version 21 here? Like, jeez.
Maybe. Alright. So Kyong gonna take down Lanmola's having a little issue with them silver arrows. They can be a little finicky to try to hit their target.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't really play the game in a while and isn't really familiar with it, there's a pretty noticeable lag time between hitting the button for the bow and it actually firing. Definitely takes some getting used to.
Alright, so Monoci's gonna head up and get the hook shot as well off the floating island and probably check that Turtle Rock medallion. And we'll realize that they are in go mode.
Absolutely. Kyong, meanwhile, off to blast through Swamp Palace here.
I feel like some sort of magician now.
Yeah, that was pretty clairvoyant of you, I have to say.
I don't even know. Alright, so Monoci opening up Turtle Rock.
Leaving Schrodinger's go mode to enter official go mode.
Indeed. And Kyong will be heading through Swamp Palace in the most expedient fashion. It is a little... Oh yeah, I said the Mire Desert play, but you don't go to Mire. What am I talking about? Mire's a pendant. I know words. All right. So, Monoci gonna pick up that beautiful, beautiful hook shot, while Kyong makes the beeline for Argus.
Even though Kyong does have a noticeable lead here, it's not so big that an unfortunate death somewhere really couldn't hurt him. And if Monoci can manage to claw back a little bit of time here, the choices in Ganon's tower could well wind up deciding this.
Yeah. Like, left side versus right side could do this.
Here's something right here. Monoci's going to check these 4 chests for a sword.
Yeah, that could definitely help things out. If there is one. I don't know what the actual probability is, but hey, red mail. So red mail will improve the survivability at least.
Yeah, for sure.
And sank hard.
Not a bad time for it, considering his health.
And a shovel.
Shovel. Probably won't be checking that, I imagine.
I imagine that you are correct. Alright, so Kyung is going to come in here and might check the chest here in the waterfall room since it's kind of on the way. Yep. Just gets a piece of heart.
Piece of heart, not the worst thing. If you can manage to leave yourself on 3/4 pieces going into Ganon's tower, that's can be nice. It can potentially give you a health refill somewhere where you could use it.
Yep. You can't always control where you get them, but, you know, yeah, I'm not going to argue with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so heading into the Argus fight. Master Sword Argus. That's a strat. Grab 2 at once and then slash them both.
Yep. Argus doesn't always play nice. He can be a little shellfish at times.
Yeah. But that's only when he it's only when he has a shell. When you get rid of his shell, he's pretty soft and pliable, and you can beat him down pretty hard.
Yep.
So this whole thing with the silver arrows. Silver arrows will kill Argus in one shot. Yes?
They should.
Now, the hard part is, again, hitting him
Yeah.
with the silver arrows.
Yeah. Lots of runners have little setups they try to do. I have one that's definitely not perfect, where I try to force him into the bottom right corner while I'm down there to try to up my odds. But the timing is definitely tough.
Yeah. Because his hitbox for those arrows is not nearly as big as him. And his movement starts basically as soon as he becomes vulnerable. So it's not an easy hit.
No, it's definitely not. His hitbox is pretty much just the eye in the middle of his face. It's not a whole lot bigger than that.
Alright, Kyung going to Ice Palace. Gonna get to see a real quick Ice Palace as well.
Possibility, like I said, possibility of load time for the tournament depending on the Turtle Rock and Ganon's Tower key layout. Not much, obviously, the runners can do about that. It is what it is.
Right. I don't know what the current load time for the open mode tournament is, but
I believe it's on the main draw. I believe it's El Magus who had a 117 something in that area.
Oh boy. Somebody clipped it with the fire and ice rod.
Oh, clip worthy.
Oh boy. That's fun. Alright, so the Ice Palace is an interesting location. It has one of the most useful tricks in it, and that is the Ice Palace bomb jump coming up.
That's right.
With this trick, it allows you to skip every single item except that key you just picked up.
Yep. Literally don't have to check a single other thing in this entire place.
And Kyung makes it easy. Or makes it look easy.
It's not terribly hard once you get a good setup for it, for whatever works for you.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that after you practice it a handful of times, you'll
Bomb
get it more
strat.
often than you miss it. Yeah, the Oko strat. Very nicely done.
So bomb strats on those Pen Gators. And then heading down into the Freezor room here.
Falling down on our way to Cold Stare.
Yep. Gonna walk down into the Cold Stare Creamery and pick up some ice cream, I guess.
Or cotton candy, whatever you like.
Every serving comes with 400 calories and 4 hearts of damage.
Yeah, Cold Stare hits like a truck, to put it quite mildly.
With Blue Mail, it's I think 3 hearts.
Yeah, 3 with Blue Mail. I mean, Kyong only sitting on 10 here, so...
All right.
Monoci opting to knock Skull Woods out here.
That's very true.
On his way to Moth. Probably not the cleanest kill Kyong's ever had, but gets the job done.
Yeah. Certainly can't be too unhappy with that.
No.
So, one of these days, I want to see a race between a lot of people where the seed is given out and then everyone is given the spoiler log. And you just go.
Just go. Get it done as quickly and as efficiently as you can. And very nice hammer strats from Monoci there.
Yeah, that's impressive. It's really hard to get a hammer hit. That hitbox is so small.
Yeah,
on the hammer.
Yeah, exactly. And even with Moth flying around on the near the spikes at the top, you having to get on top of them and hammer him down so that he doesn't get the knockback into the spikes. It was really, really well handled. Actually, that's textbook.
Mm-hmm. So, Kyong will be now heading into Skull Woods to finish that off. There was a purchase of some potions earlier on, or just before that, because, you know, Mothula control you, all of Turtle Rock control you. It's not a bad move.
Absolutely not. You don't have half magic, so all it can take is one bad boss fight or one bad room where you need magic. And that can cost you a ton of time. So absolutely worth the 10 seconds or so to flute over there and pick something up.
Mm-hmm. So, Monoci will be entering Swamp Palace to do the Go mode version of that. And then while Kyong is finishing off Skull Woods. So they're basically trading places, sort of, at this point.
Yep, pretty much. Both runners opting to end with Turtle Rock, which obviously makes sense. Trying to hedge their bets for Tempered Sword, but doesn't look like that's going to come to fruition.
Mm-hmm. So how good does it feel to get up to Death Mountain and still have Tower of Hera to finish? When you're in Go mode.
When you're in Go mode? Oh, yeah, when you get like the Turtle Rock into Tower of Hera and again it's Tower Dream. That I've only ever had it happen like twice, but yeah, boy, it sure does feel great.
Mm-hmm.
In particular, it just makes you feel great about your about how you chose to route everything out. It
right.
Makes you feel really good about your decision making.
Because, yeah, a lot of times you're very tempted to go into Hera at some point because it's there and it's in the light world. And it's usually available.
Right. So Kyong here. So Monoci got to pick up a little bit of time on Kyong in Skull Woods. Took a little longer for Kyong to get Mothula down there.
That is true. And of course, Monoci just heading right to the back. That's how we do things in Go Mode Swamp. It's so much faster. You just grab the one key out of the room with the big chest in it, head up, and just make your way to the boss.
Yeah. Go Mode Swamp, something that players really, really strove for in old versions of the logic. As you mentioned earlier, kind of a rare occurrence in V26 now. So it must feel really good for these runners to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, off to Turtle Rock here for Kyong, grabbing his last crystal. Monoci will still have to do a go mode Ice Palace when he's finished in here. So despite losing a little bit of time on Mothula for Kyong, it looks like he has actually slightly increased his advantage overall here.
So Kyung is taking the Dark World route to get up to Turtle Rock. I've heard conflicting statistics on which of those is actually faster.
My understanding is that Andy timed it out, and if you hit your spin speeds on the first try, taking the mirror route is quicker. But essentially, as soon as you miss a spin speed somewhere, that this way is faster. So,
What about going via the light world and taking the portal that's on top of Turtle Rock?
yeah, I believe that's what I meant when I'm taking the mirror route. Yeah.
Now this one, I think we've figured out why Kyung went that way though, because Kyung wanted to check the hookshot cave for swords.
Yeah, which makes sense. And yeah, Monoci with a very nice kill on Argus. He actually got the silver arrow snipe in there.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well done. Looks like Monoci has some very good boss execution just overall.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, he's definitely picking time up on Kyong here on the boss kills for sure.
Alright, so let's see what Turtle Rock has to offer today. There's a key in the first chest here.
Which is perfect. Hoping for big key, small key on the other side here.
Mm-mm. Now you know there's going to be at least one key in these first few chests. That's all you technically have to have.
Yeah. With that one small key, could theoretically get 2 non-keys in here.
Mm-hmm. But you very often will see big key up here. There's another small key and a cape. Okay. So we've got a magic cape.
Well, it could be useful on Ganon if we wind up doing Master Sword. Cape can help you push the second phase quicker.
Yep, Master Sword Ganon is not fun. Master Sword Silverless is less fun.
Yes. Master Sword Silverless is it's difficult because it's long, and it's really easy to do it really well for a while, and then you make that one mistake that pushes you off.
There's the big key in the Chain Chomp room.
Perfect.
Now, personally, when I go to Turtle Rock, I like to have the magic powder because I am bad at this game. But both of our players will have no trouble with this.
Yeah, the red mail, 11 hearts should be fine here.
I say that the magic powder is my favorite item in the game, and it is in fact because I'm bad at this game.
Even if you're not, it's exceedingly helpful in terms of your combat. Plus, there's a bunch of rooms where the anti-fairies are really, really in the way, and just being able to get rid of them even without the fairy refill is nice.
Right. The anti-fairies can be a pain. Alright, so Kyung going to do the right thing and not skip the big chest.
Yeah. 5 of 6 chance you don't need to come in here, but if there is a small key in here, you can skip the laser bridge entirely, which is nice.
That is true. And there it is.
Perfect.
So Kyung will have a very quick trip through Turtle Rock here. And that will allow us to reach Ganon's Tower pretty soon.
Yes. Could still be in line for pushing the best time of the tournament if it's in a really big key in Ganon's Tower here.
It is possible.
Grabbing that extra key just to be safe, I guess.
And into one of the easier dark rooms in the game, the Turtle Rock Dark Room.
I was definitely intimidated by it when I first started learning how to do it, but once you get through it a couple of times, it's really not bad at all.
Yeah, it's just a very straightforward, like, just a couple of movements. You got to memorize what to do. Meanwhile, Monoci making pretty quick work of Cold Stare.
Yeah.
And they will be heading up to Turtle Rock rather soon.
Yes.
Kyung with the sick cane dash strats.
Yes. Very nice cane dash there. So Monoci definitely has picked up a little bit of time on these boss kills. He was about a dungeon and a half behind earlier. He's pretty much just a Turtle Rock behind now, so he's definitely closed the gap a little bit.
All right, so we've got Hammer Trinex, which is always, quote, fun.
Young does have a blue potion in case he runs into magic troubles here.
Yep. I believe he may have bought 2, but don't hold me to that. So we're just using swords on the ice head. That's pretty solid, mostly because the fire rod shots actually damage the ice head as well.
That's right. And the two heads actually do have the same amount of health. Just because of the fire rod splash, the fire rod will often hit the ice head twice, which is why it seems to die quicker.
Right. And Kyung will be doing a few quick hits on Trinex, making short work. And then we'll get something off of Trinex, we don't know. Just the map, just a burrito. It's the 3-layer burrito from Trinex.
Trinex loves his burritos. Actually, Helmasaur and Trinex in particular have a much higher chance of having the map as opposed to the compass, interestingly enough.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. It is time to call your shot as far as where you think the big key will be.
That's right. 22 locations, 1 chest and 1 torch and 21 chests. Get your guesses
Indeed.
in. I'm gonna go with number 13, the Fire Snake Room. What about you, Bob?
Well, it's funny you mentioned my name. Because I have to go with Bob's Jest. It's kind of I believe I'm contractually obligated at this point to go with Bob's Jest.
Yeah.
So there we go. I learned an interesting little fact the other day. Okay.
Right.
So you know the tile room?
Yes. Oh, tempered sword.
Hey, there's the tempered sword. Nice. So the tile room. You know how many tiles are in the formation?
I don't actually.
22.
Interesting.
And it's usually the 22nd item you check. So
That's
there you go.
That actually is. Actually, I like that. Actually, that is a nice little factoid.
It's pretty weird.
Nice little strat there with pushing the cane block into that Gibdo.
So Kyung is doing the right side gamble first, and so far not paying off. Now, will Kyung go all the way to Ice Armos is the question. And the answer is no.
Yeah, hedging his bets here, trying to minimize the amount of time lost to guessing wrong.
Yeah, LV coincidence? I believe so, yes. I believe it is entirely a coincidence that there are 22, 22 tiles and 22 chests.
Monoci making quick work at Turtle Rock here.
Apparently there was a sweet burner strat that I missed.
I'm assuming that was in the chain chomp room. Actually, I'm sorry that I missed that. Every time I think I have a strat lined up to make the chain chomp room consistent, they find a way to screw it up. It's back on the drawing board.
Alright, so here's the map room. And in the map room we have 10 arrows.
The cane dash in the roller room, yes, that's a nice one too. Fan of that strat.
Oh yeah, that strat, I've seen it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good strat.
Blue boomerang strats here to avoid the Samaria use with the limited magic.
Yeah, does the cane dash for that like not drain the magic while it's going or something?
Oh, there's a big key. I called that, didn't I?
That was your call, sir.
All right.
Congratulations.
Both of us with the calls today.
Both of us with some pretty sick calls. Somebody needs to call the witch tribunal up in here.
And if anybody else guessed the Firebar room, I found out earlier today Herfy Durfy is restocked with internet love and affection, and I will
Interesting.
definitely.
I was wondering if that was going to come back in stock.
Yeah, Herfy Durfy can confirm that earlier today, so that's hype for sure.
I heard he was having issues with the shipping on that, but I'm glad he got it back.
It's all resolved. Yeah, it's good to hear. And yeah, the cane dash does still drain the magic. It's just
It just
basically
looks swag.
And you do save a few frames from the standing still and activating it. So there is a little bit to gain from it.
It looks swag and it acts a little swag. So there we go. So we got Kyong entering the gauntlet. Doing a pretty good job so far. Takes out the first room pretty quickly. Second room gives him a little bit of trouble.
Nice shot there with the silver arrow for that last kill.
I always like the strat of walking into this third room and just firing off an arrow and hoping it hits. Because it might.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent.
Fourth room always great.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of fire rod strats in those rooms, but with limited magic, it's tough to use.
Yep. So Kyong will be working over toward Landmola's 2. Wow, one cycle with those silver arrows. Much better than the last attempt. Meanwhile, Monoci will be taking out Trinex.
Yeah, very nice fight there. Kyong just flying through this GT gauntlet here.
Oh man, that's pretty fast. Some pretty good strats here. Moving on to this the lamp room here. Can be a little bit of a pain, but Kyong is going to show us how it's done. Picks up a little magic refill there at the end. I imagine we will be picking up this pod. Yeah. And also avoiding despawning everything in the tower there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Definitely a pain when you do that. If you happen to go up the stairs on the same frame that the shutter door closes, you will despawn all the sprites in the tower and have to mirror down to the bottom and start again. It is brutal.
So Kyong will not be worrying anymore about any pickups for the rest of this match. Tempered Sword Silvers is enough. Don't really care about butter. We'll be fine without it.
Absolutely. And he knows the caliber of the player that he's up against.
Indeed. Not even messing with the validation chest, just gonna walk right on to Aghanim 2. Now this room, deceptively difficult. The room with the Helmosaurs and the bumpers and the junk.
Definitely one of those rooms where if you mess it up, it can go south really quickly.
Mm. Oh, that may have been a triple.
I think it was.
It was very close. And that was just one, for sure. The second two patterns have not been great to him. Oh.
I'm not sure if that means the first one missed or if that second ball actually got eaten by the wall.
Second ball. Yeah, it was very close. So I really don't know, but this ought to do it.
There we go.
So Aghanim 2 goes down, and we are heading to the Ganon fight.
Absolutely. Should easily be under 125 here, which is a fantastic run.
Indeed. There we go. So, Tempered Sword Ganon. That's 12 slashes in the first phase, 12 slashes in the second phase. The standard 4 for phase 3, and then 4 silver arrows to a blue Ganon in the final.
Indeed. Kyong going for the strat there, trying to get hung up on Ganon's pitchfork to get an extra spin in. Couldn't quite get it, so gets the 2-cycle phase 1, which is totally fine.
Gonna use the cape strats to quickly dispatch phase 2, which is nice. You just got to make sure you leave enough magic to light those torches.
Just about to say, I'm assuming he's going to blow a blue pot here.
That seems entirely legitimate, and Kyong moves on to phase 3. So I've seen 3 Ganon teleports so far, or I guess 2 extra Ganon teleports. Right. Yeah, just 3 extra Ganon teleports. That's a pretty good call.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Did we find the arrows in the light world? I think we did.
Sure did.
Now, no torch glitch, but you got plenty of magic. That's not going to be a problem. Alright, so 1 more silver arrow, and this will do it.
Nicely done there. Even got
nice.
Before the torch
right
went out.
Before the torch went out. And that will do it.
I am no longer in the race room, Dr. Bob, if you want to call that.
Finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 31 seconds. That is an extremely fast time.
Absolutely. That's fantastic.
That's blazingly fast. We'll see if we can get Kyong in here to talk about it. Meanwhile, we will watch Monoci finish off their run.
Monoci could very easily sub 130 this and come in second place. That's
got to feel good and bad. Like, it's sub 130, which is always a great time, but you still didn't win, which feels not so great.
Right. And it's not like he played poorly in any sense. He made some real nice time up on Kyong on a lot of his boss kills. It was just a little bit of routing, a few extra locations he decided to check that Kyong didn't, and a little bit of execution sort of within the dungeons themselves. But he's got nothing to hang his head over. He played a fantastic race.
Indeed. So Kyung is now in the waiting room. If we can bring him in here, I might have the ability to do that. Hello, Kyung. You're live on the air. How you doing?
Hey, just
Oh.
that palace of darkness.
I know, right?
that
Oh my!
that was a pretty hype pod. Yeah, we were going nuts up here and in chat. That was amazing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Palace of Darkness.
I was like,
one-shot
okay.
job.
Yeah, I was like, okay, got flippers, so I probably go. Oh, wait. I need to go to Turtle Rock right now.
Yeah.
It was so-
Yeah, we were like, this might be go mode. We know where the hook shot is. If Turtle Rock is Bombos, we're good, and it just happened to be Bombos. So
yeah, it
Woo!
was so insane.
how does
So,
it feel to finally be able to go mode Swamp Palace and Ice Palace and the things you want to go mode?
yeah. So other than pod, how did you feel about your race, Kong? Your routing seemed really solid.
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward. The only thing I got very beginning, I didn't get the small key in Sanctuary, so I click on my first visit. That was technically open since we got the lamp there. So I was like, oh, please don't have gloves be there, so I don't have to go through the whole escape again. Other than that, was pretty straightforward.
Oh, the powder was in the validation chest. Huh. Wow. That's like pretty much the best time to get it, I think.
Yeah, when you've already used past everything you could possibly use it for.
Yeah. Oh, just like flippers and then Titan's mitts and then fire rod and then ice rod, and it's just like, what?
Yeah, it's almost kind of hard to find things to talk about because it was just, make the play on catfish for your bow and then just everything in pod. Like, did you ever have any thought to worrying about, well, not worrying necessarily because it's technically a sequence break, but not doing the flipper locked areas earlier?
A little bit, but I think it's it really equipment and stuff for early game sequences. I can be able to fall and keep it going. Of course, that's sometimes it's so that's it. I was there at cave. I didn't have 500 rupees in Moon Pro, so I decided to.
Yeah, when you don't have the rupees or the Moon Pearl, it's kind of it seems a little less useful to do the fake flipper glitch.
Yeah.
And Monoci on Ganon here.
Also using cape strats. Pretty solid.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic run. It's really super solid execution from both of you as well. I mean, the difference in the race, a little bit of execution spots here and there for Monoci, and he just decided to check, I think, a few more overworld locations that you never got to, stuff like Spike Cave, and honestly, I think that's most of this difference. It's an excellent race.
Yeah. I mean, the time here, right? Just an hour 22 on an open mode seed is almost unheard of. It's pretty ridiculous.
It is, yeah.
Looks like Monochi's going to get a double there, and that will finish it off for Monochi. Monochi finishes with a time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 31 seconds.
Yeah, fantastic race for both runners. If you're watching and you haven't followed these guys, I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, what's wrong with you, seriously?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let me get on that.
I am a little flabbergasted still. Both the level of play and the incredibly hype Palace of Darkness in this seed. We'll see if Monochi will favor us by coming in here.
Yep, sure would be nice.
Both runners finishing under a minute 30. Absolutely crazy. And routing and execution just on point from everybody.
Hi there, Monochi. How you doing?
Good, how you guys
GG.
doing? GG, man.
Hey there,
What's up, Kyong?
GG.
GG, man.
So just an excellently run race from both people. Monochi, what about that completely dull Palace of Darkness? What did you think about that?
I don't know, man. I need more of those. I need more of those in my regular runs.
Oh, that was just I was out of words at that point. I was like, what?
Well, was that like all 5 items was required?
Yeah, that was everything.
That was
Well, there
so
were
big.
4 items there, but everything that was in there was everything that was left for you guys to get go mode, except the hook shot, which you guys knew where that was, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
50
Oh,
rupees
don't
was the only thing that was not good in there. Yeah. So, Monochi, I think in terms of the difference between the race between you and Kyong, I think just a few scattered overworld locations and stuff that you did that Kyong didn't was a lot of the difference, like doing Spike Cave and stuff like that. How did you feel your routing was for the most part here?
It was alright because I would do the same every game. Because it gave me burners on
Yeah.
on what is it?
I was
The
thinking
Paradox Cave.
about
So
doing
yeah, so it was on the
Spike
way.
too.
Yeah, so yeah, the Spike Cave play, it was a good play either way, I think. And it wouldn't have accounted for the entire difference. But
Right.
that was one thing that we noticed that you did and Kyung did not.
And Monochi, your boss kills were on point today. Those were impressive, just to say the least. You flew through go mode once you got there. I don't
Thanks,
know.
man.
No problem. I'm sure you felt. Did you feel like you were ahead, behind?
No, I feel I was like more of like depends on where Kyong's when he checks catfish. So I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
I
hard to
think,
tell. It's whenever he check catfish. If he check it first, then I'm lost.
Right.
I think he was slightly ahead of you doing that. So
Monochi Stogie wants me to ask if you want lunches.
Yeah, for sure.
So just a piece of heart on the pedestal. Not that anyone was anywhere close to concerned about the pedestal at this point.
Okay.
So, any other comments? Anything you took away from this seed that you're gonna take into your later races?
I don't know. Check more pot.
I
So-
guess keep doing as it seems to be working.
Yeah, if both of you guys keep doing what you did in this seed, you guys are both going to be in excellent shape. I have no problem saying that. That was if you're learning how to run the rando, rewatch this race because both of these guys did absolutely fantastic.
This was
That's all
basically
about-
basically a masterclass in how to rando.
It really was. It really was.
All right, so thank you, runners both for putting on such a great show. Make sure to follow these runners. They deserve your follow. And
Absolutely.
And thanks, guys, for the commentating, and thanks, Rizzo, for the restream.
absolutely,
Absolutely. And thanks to Magius for jumping in last minute and doing the tracking. We appreciate that.
amen. Yeah, Mages did an excellent job with the tracking. Feasel is, as always, is some sort of otherworldly being and pulling off like 400 streams at the same time. I don't know what's going on. Thank you so much, Zyrak, for commentating along with me.
It was a pleasure.
And Speed. And so Speed Gaming, Speed Gaming 2, Speed Gaming 3, Speed Gaming 4, all of these channels are the home for the Link to the Past Randomizer main tournament. The secondary tournament we have over on the Randomizer Mania network for the most part. And you can follow all of those channels to get literally all the rando you can stand and then some. I'm sure that anybody who feels like they haven't gotten enough rando, there's VODs there. There's plenty of rando to watch, and I hope you'll check some of that out.
Absolutely. There's some race going on tomorrow between some Andy and some Ben or something.
I don't know who those guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be a pretty interesting race, I think. It's very strange that both of those runners ended up 1-1.
Much like the two gentlemen we just saw run here. I mean, it's fantastic. Like, I mean, this is what it takes, folks, to get to move on in this tournament. Like, it's pretty fantastic.
So neither player here is in sort of an elimination situation. Now, 2-1 is obviously a much more comfortable position than 1 and 2, but both of those are still very live to advance in the tournament.
Personally, after watching this and racing against both Monoci and Kyong repeatedly in SRL, I would be shocked to not see these two guys in the group stages. But stranger things have happened.
Indeed.
Alrighty, so I think we'll, with Monoci stats wrapping up here, I think we'll wrap it up. So I'll let you take it away, Bob, but I am Zyrak.
And I'm Dr. Bobtastic, and we will see you all at a later occasion. This is Dr. Bobtastic signing off.
Have a good night, everybody.